So hello everyone. The given topic for today is the MARPOL Annex 2. It is the regulation for the control of pollution by noxious liquid substances in bulk. So by the end of this video, marami po tayong matututunan with regards sa MARPOL Annex 2. Una dyan is yung, ano ba yung goal ng MARPOL Annex 2? Bakit kailangang i-prevent yung pollution ng noxious liquid substances? Kasi possible to mangyari sa barko. Pangalawa dito is yung magiging aware tayo sa may definition ng noxious liquid substances. Kasi 'di ba parang yung word na noxious is bago sa pandinig natin. So mamaya malalaman natin kung anong ibig sabihin niyan. And then yung effects ng noxious liquid substances sa may sea, sa dagat. And then next is malalaman din natin yung iba't ibang types ng noxious liquid substances kasi meron silang iba't ibang classifications. And then lastly is yung methods para ma-prevent yung pollution.
Operational discharges occur from ships carrying noxious liquid substances when the cargo tanks are cleaned or ballasted. In order to minimize noxious liquid substance mixtures when tank cleaning, a Procedures and Arrangement (P&A) manual is required to show the crew how to operate the cargo equipment effectively. Annex 2 also requires tanks to be capable of being stripped until only small volumes of cargo are left. The tank washing procedure must be at least as thorough as the P&A manual requires. Assuming the tank has been washed using water and not a cleaning chemical, then any further washing water may be discharged overboard. If the ship is outside the Antarctic area, the ship must be on passage above a minimum speed while meeting other requirements regarding water depth and distance from land. Sometimes cargo residues will be left in the slop tanks. Ports are required to provide reception facilities for noxious liquid substance slops. After a cargo tank has been discharged and pre-washed, if necessary, Annex 2 allows that it may be ballasted, although the ballast would be subject to the same discharge criteria as tank washings. Normally, ballast will be loaded into segregated ballast tanks to prevent cargo contamination and avoid these restrictions. Ships carrying noxious liquid substances need to keep a cargo record book, which must be completed each time any of the cargo and ballast operations listed in the front of the book take place. Rules for completion and retention of record books are similar to those mentioned above for Annex 1 oil tanker cargo record books. Accidental discharges of noxious liquid substances may occur from ships, such as spills during loading and discharge, leakages following collision or grounding, cargo tank leakage, leaks following other casualties, such as fire or explosion, hull failure, excessive list, submergence or foundering, wrecking, or stranding. All ships carrying noxious liquid substances are required to have a shipboard Marine Pollution Emergency Plan, SMPEP, which will provide directions on the immediate action to take following a leak or overflow during cargo operations. On most ships, special cleanup equipment will have been supplied and its location recorded in the plan. The crew should have carried out training and drills to improve crew response to a spill. The rules require the cargo tanks to be in protected locations, depending on the danger from the cargo. A range of ship types is defined, which provide different amounts of protection to the cargo tanks. Type 1 gives the most protection, and Type 3 the least. After damage, the regulations address the ability of the ship to stay afloat without capsizing. Sinking or capsizing would probably result in all the cargo escaping into the sea. There are many rules on the construction of cargo tanks and the materials to be used. Some cargoes are so dangerous that they must be carried in limited quantities per tank, or in tanks which are independent of the ship's structure and less likely to leak. Annex 2 attempts to minimize pollution from other casualties by means of the SMPEP, which contains the necessary immediate actions. We have now reached the...
So ngayon, pag-uusapan natin ang purpose ng Annex 2. Ang purpose ng Annex 2 is piniprevent niya yung mga pwedeng ikasira ng mga ating karagatan katulad ng mga chemical, oil, flammable substance, tsaka liquid substances. Nakapokus ito sa pagpoprotekta ng environment natin to have the safe management of liquid chemicals transported by the sea. Lalo na para naman maprotektahan natin ang mga dagat. Siyempre, kailangan din natin i-inspect yung vessel bago sila umalis sa port. Tsaka always wear protective gear equipment. Tsaka to minimize the risk sa paglalayag sa barko. Sa operational standard ng annexes is ni-establish nito yung procedure for loading and unloading para ma-prevent niya yung accidental or operational discharge sa barko. Para naman sa ship equipment is they ensure the system is necessary to prevent pollution or spill and accidents from discharges.
I'm Midshipman Salas from BSM-2 Charlie, and I will explain about the definition of terms in MARPOL Annex 2. So, MARPOL Annex 2 deals with the control of pollution by noxious liquid substances involved. So, the first definition of terms in Annex 2 is noxious liquid substances, NLS. So it's a liquid substance. If discharged into the sea, it could possibly have a risk to marine resources or human health. So the second one is the categories. So categories, these have a 4 category. So it have X, Y, and Z. And lastly is OS. The first is category X. So category X substance presents a major hazard. So major hazard to the environment. So it is if discharged, it is strictly prohibited. Then the category Y is a hazard, but it's a lesser than the category X, but it's a restricted conditions apply. So category C is a substance that present a minor. It's a minor hazard, but it's a lenient discharge restriction. Then the OS is a post-minimal hazard, typically water-soluble products like a certain foodstuff. So OS is which means is other substance. So third is ship type. So ship types have 3 types in ship type. So first, type 1 is designed to carry most hazardous substances, but it's similar to the categories that I explained earlier. So the type 1 is similar to category X, but with a strict construction standards. Then the type 2 is a moderate hazard, but it's similar to category Y. And the type 3 is designed for substance with a less hazard. So it means it is similar to category C. So fourth one is the cargo record book. So it's a log on board ships to record operation, but it's involved the noxious liquid substances. So it's like in loading, unloading, and cleaning tanks. So fifth one is a pre-wash. So pre-wash is a mandatory cleaning procedure for certain substances to minimize residues discharge, especially for category X substances. Before a ship deport a port. So 6.1 is the discharge standard. So it's the discharge standards is specific rules to quantity, location, and concentration of noxious liquid substances that allowed to be discharged into the sea. So the 7 is IBC code. It refers for a code for construction and equipment for ships carrying dangerous chemicals in bulk. So MARPOL Annex 2 must require a compliance with the IBC code. So IBC code is an international bulk chemical code. Then the last one is port reception facility. So the facility is a shore-based facility where ship can unload residues to mixtures containing noxious liquid substances to prevent pollution. So that's all in the Annex 2, the definition of terms. So thank you very much.
So what are the different noxious liquid substances? We're here to discuss the different noxious liquid substances. In 4 noxious liquid substances, we have 4. We have category X, category Y, category Z, and the other substance. So in the category X, noxious liquid substance which, if discharged into the sea from tank cleaning or deballasting operations, are deemed to present a major. So major daw, ito yung pinakamalaking pinsala to either marine resources or human health, and therefore justify the prohibition of the discharge into the marine environment. So ito nga ayon, to the word itself, X. So parang ito yung pinaka-dangerous para sa ating lahat, para sa kalusugan, ganun. Parang yung mga laging pinapalabas sa TV. Like, ano ba yung Powerpuff Girls? Ano ba yan? Yung lalaki doon, basta yan, siya. Yung gumawa kila Buttercup, Bubbles, and Blossom. Yan, si Professor, yan. Na, yun daw, itong substance daw na to, yung pinaka malaking pinsala para sa ating kalusugan or pinaka mapanganib, ganoon din yan para sa ating kalusugan, sa marine environment, sa ating marine resources na nanggagaling sa barko kapag tayo ay nagtatang cleaning at saka deballasting operations. So this is the fourth noxious liquid substance. The other substance which have been evaluated and found to fall outside category X, Y, or Z because they are not considered to present no harm. So wala daw harm sa substance na to. To marine resources, human health, amenities, or other legitimate uses of the sea when discharged into the sea from tank cleaning or deballasting operations. So, no harm to para sa atin. Di katulad ng X. Yung X kasi yung pinaka malaking pinsala. Yung pinaka major. Yung Y naman, minor lang or like moderate lang yung pinsala nito. Then yung category Z naman, like ito pala yung minor. Itong Itong Y, parang moderate lang. Diba? So, ito namang other substance, wala siyang pinsala para sa ating kalusugan. The discharge of bilge or balanced water or other residuous mixtures containing this substance are not subject to any requirements of MARPOL Annex 2.
What is meant by a noxious liquid substance? Noxious means physically harmful to living beings. Annex 2 defines a noxious liquid substance as any substance listed as pollution category X, Y, or Z in the International Bulk Chemical Code. Substances are classified by United Nations experts according to their harmful effects. Category X substances are the most harmful, with Category Z the least harmful. Substances categorized as OS have been considered and not found to be harmful. What happens when a noxious liquid substance enters the sea depends on its chemical and physical properties, and these vary widely from substance to substance. What noxious liquid substances have in common is that they can harm life by poisoning it, causing irritation or corrosion, coating plants, or blocking their sunlight.
So now we will gonna talk about noxious liquid substances, category Y. These are moderate pollution hazard, which, if discharged into the sea from tank cleaning or deballasting operations, are deemed to present a hazard to either marine resources or human health, or cause harm to amenities or other legitimate users of the sea, and therefore justify a limitation on the quality and quantity of the discharge into the marine environment. So, what are the effects of category Y noxious liquid substances? Here are some effects on human health and environment. They can cause skin irritation, respiratory issues, and serious health problems if ingested, inhaled, or in contact with skin. Also, these substances can contaminate soil and water, makes a risk to ecosystems, wildlife, and proper handling, storage, and disposal of category Y noxious liquid substances are crucial to prevent accidents and minimize their negative impact. And example of category Y noxious liquid substances is phenol, with a melting point of 40.9 degrees Celsius. So now, let's talk about noxious liquid substances, category Z. These are low pollution hazard. Substances which is discharged into the sea from tank, cleaning, or deballasting operations are deemed to present a minor hazard to either marine resources or human health, and therefore justify less stringent restrictions on quality and quantity of the discharge into the environment. So, what are the effects of category Z noxious liquid substances in our ecosystems and in human health? Here are some effects on human health and environment. Some effects may include skin irritation, eye irritation, respiratory issues, potential long-term health effects upon exposure. Immediate symptoms of exposure may include nausea, dizziness, difficulty breathing, and skin burns. It can also result in serious health conditions such as organ damage, cancer, or reproductive issues. It is essential to handle these substances with extreme care and follow all safety guidelines to prevent accidents and minimize their impact.
So now we will talk about the methods for prevention of pollution by noxious liquid substances. The prevention of pollution by noxious liquid substances (NLS) from ships is governed primarily by the International Convention for the Prevention of Pollution from Ships (MARPOL), specifically under Annex II, which outlines regulations aimed at controlling pollution caused by these substances. So, MARPOL Annex II establishes a categorization system for noxious liquid substances, dividing them into 4 categories based on their potential impact on marine resources and human life. So, these are the categorization of noxious liquid substances. First, we have Category X, substances that present a major hazard and should not be discharged into the sea. So, one of the examples of substance classified as Category X is benzene. Benzene is highly toxic that poses significant risk to both human health and marine resources. And then Category Y, substances that pose a hazard and have restrictions on discharge quality and quantity. So Category Y is moderate pollution hazard. So benzene also serves as an illustrative example of Category Y substance under MARPOL Annex II due to its potential hazard to both human and marine resources. And then we have Category Z, substances that present a minor hazard with less stringent discharge restrictions. So, the example of Category Z is certain types of vegetable oils. And then lastly, we have other substances, those evaluated as presenting no harm when discharged. So this could be certain types of benign industrial chemicals that do not exhibit harmful characteristics when released into the ocean, such as non-toxic and non-biodegradable. So this categorization helps in determining the appropriate handling and disposal methods for each substances. And then next, we have the use of reception facilities. Ships are required to utilize reception facilities for the disposal of residues containing noxious liquid substances. So this ensures that harmful substances do not enter in marine environmental during routine operations or accidental discharge. And then next, we have ship design and equipment standards. The International Bulk Chemical Code, IBC Code, prescribes design standards and equipment requirements for chemical tankers to minimize risks associated with carrying bulk chemicals. So this also includes specifications for tanks construction, piping system, and safety equipment to contain spills or leaks. And then we have monitoring and reporting. Ships are mandated to maintain records of their cargoes, including details about any discharge made during voyage. So this monitoring allows authority to track compliance with MARPOL regulation and respond appropriately to any violation. And then lastly, we have the implementation of modern stripping techniques. Modern stripping techniques are incorporated into MARPOL Annex II, requirements to improve the efficiency of cleaning tanks after unloading cargoes, thereby reducing residual quantities left on board. So, by adhering these methods outlined in MARPOL Annex II, ships can significantly mitigate the risk of pollution caused by noxious liquid substances, protecting marine ecosystems and human health.